Good morning, Canada. Bonjour. And greetings to our friends in the First Nation. And thank you, Chief Hardy, for the blessing, because I can smell the sage up here. And they said we needed a sage on stage, and I said, well, I can't do that. So we do have sage on stage, so I'm really, really happy to do that. As you see from my presentation here, my title is The Future is Zero. So you're about to hear 15 minutes about my zero ideas and 15 minutes about nothing, right? So not quite, but the future is zero. And I want to teach you something before I go, because I want to teach you a sign. I want you to make this sign sometime today. This is the sign of the circular economy. It stands for Ottawa, it stands for Ontario, it stands for oil seeds as well, right? And we're here with our poppies. It's a wonderful oil seed, correct? And so make the sign. When you want people to understand, you want to signify to somebody that you're here to change the world. Don't shake their hand, make the sign. Tell them that you believe in the circular economy and that there's no future, there's no net zero without the bioeconomy, because wind and solar and electrifying everything can get you to 10 or 9 or 8, but it doesn't get you to zero. There is no zero, there is no net zero, there is no solution without biology, because only biology can go carbon negative and provides that offset, because even wind and solar need an offset, right? So that's what biology gives us. And that's why we're here today, to give that last and most important and vital, the hardest yards of decarbonization. The hardest yards are the ones that you're working on. So I commend you for that, because you're doing the tough work. You're not doing the easy work of replacing coal with natural gas, which is not simple work, but it is a lot easier than what you have taken on today. So I commend you for that. The future is zero. And we're going to talk about why we need to remind our friends who we're asking to take a very important step. We're asking them to go outside their comfort zone and do things that they've never done before, right? Decarbonization is not normal to people, and we have to get outside, and we have to help them to get outside of their comfort zone, and that is why we signify to them that we believe in the circular economy, that net zero is real, net zero can happen. So next time, don't just shake a hand. Signify to everyone your beliefs, because you're never going to get someone out of their comfort space until you step out a little of your comfort space and ask somebody to take a step forward with you. So make the sign if you can, because as we all know, the world is changing and becoming a very strange place. We have coins without a country. We have meetings without the room, as we did during the pandemic. We have DNA without the body. This is a machine that makes DNA. We have stores without the checkout. We have rides without the taxi. The world is getting very odd. We have TV without the cord. We have sweetener without the sugar. We have cars without the driver. See how the world is changing? We have superfoods made from algae. We have ties made from spider silk. We have meat without the cow. We have milk without the cow. We have leather without the cow. We have sushi without the fish. We have honey without the bees. What's going on? What's happening in our world? Marvin Gaye taught us to ask. And the answer is we have 5 revolutions converging right now. We're going to be talking about them throughout the day. Jeff alluded to a few of them, but they're converging right now. Every one of these revolutions, whether it's genetics, robotics, bandwidth, intelligence, or storage, is active right now in the bioeconomy. Every one of these is coming together. There's also good news for the bioeconomy. There's a dizzying array of companies and institutes that are working to solve the problems and get us to net zero. You can see just one consortium here, BioMade, sponsored by the Department of Defense in the United States. You can see all companies and institutions that are working together to make that bioeconomy goal of net zero happen. We also have $20 trillion, 20 trillion, which is more than the gross national product of any nation on earth, which is dedicated to ESG funds, environmental, social, and governmental compliant funding. That fits in the bioeconomy, does not fit in fossil fuels. It's all there for you. So there's plenty of tailwinds. And because of that, companies are innovating all across the space. You can see BMW is making cars without the metals. Chanel is making packaging without the plastics. Crocs is making shoes without the carbon. Old Navy is making shoes without the rubber. Adidas is getting beyond crude oil in its technology. You have Airbus is moving beyond the jet engine and moving over into electrification and hydrogen. You have buildings that are made, this building is made without the use of steel. Frank Gehry, who built the Guggenheim in Bilbao and other buildings, is building this without steel. Why are we not moving faster when all the winds are in our favor? The profit driver, this is the profit driver. This is a really important slide. If you don't see any other slide this year, look at this one. On the right-hand side, you will see a chart. The left blue hash there is the price, that is the price of diesel fuel in the world. And over on the extreme right, the green hash there, is the profit that you make with renewable diesel. You actually make more money making renewable diesel than you get revenue making diesel. So why isn't everybody building everything right now? And the answer is they are. They're announcing enormous advances in capacity. This is done in gallons here, so I'll convert it over to about 116 billion liters in heavy-duty fuels. This is fuels alone. I showed you a whole bunch of slides about what companies are doing in materials. This is just the stuff we're burning. 117 billion liters announced around the world. And good reason. Not only are they making a lot of money, but you can see the value stack right here that's encouraging them. You can make, as I said, $2.42 making diesel. You can make renewable diesel for $5.67, but you can make renewable aviation fuel at 100%, sell it in California for $6.05 a gallon. They're not insane. They see these numbers. That's why they're moving in that direction. The incentive we've talked about is spurring innovation. We need more, because there are lots of emerging downstream players coming in. You can see brands you've never heard of, companies like Vertimus and 12 and Nacero and New Rise that you'll be hearing a lot more of in years to come. But there are a lot of players in here. You can see Chevron, you can see BP, companies everyone's heard of. Shell is very active in this space. All the majors are doing it. Lots and lots of people coming to the space. And you have policy tailwinds you've never seen before. This photo was taken in the last, was taken in late September. That is President Biden. That is Prime Minister Modi of India, who is the chairman of the G20. That's President Lula. And you will even have the Emirates lining up. What are they promoting? You've never seen a group of world leaders in the last year with so much comity and agreement. What are they promoting? They're promoting you. They're saying your future is our future. Is this the biggest thing anywhere? It's called the Global Biofuels Alliance. You're going to hear a lot more about it. You've never had it so good. Where are the gallons? And the answer is feedstock is wanted. That is our problem. We don't have enough feedstock. We do not have enough technologies that unlock the correct feedstock, the better feedstocks, and we need to work on that now because we need 5 billion tons of sustainable, affordable, reliable, available feedstock. That's why I'm here in Canada, because there is no country that gets the forest more and gets feedstock more than this country. The opportunity is amazing for you. You've got tons and tons of biomass. It can be used sustainably. You can get to negative carbon intensity. That doesn't mean that it's carbon negative. It means a negative carbon intensity as carbon intensity is measured. You can help the world to get to net zero. That's why I'm here to talk about the growth of feedstock. We need more and more and more to replace the high intensity feedstocks we've been using, petroleum and natural gas. I'm not a hater of the petroleum industry. I love the petroleum industry. I think that their feedstock is not well suited to our times, and we can do better, and we should do better. And the answer is right here in Canada. The answer is with you. The global direction has never been more in your favor. The time is now. We have to work on it because bold goals require bold actions. And I do want to invite you, if you are interested in learning more and taking part in designing the bold actions that will change the world, then please do stop by at 6:15. We have a group of what's called the Bold Goals Action Group. It's a coalition of the willing. About 80 companies around the world have already participated. We've had meetups in San Francisco and Sydney. We're having one at 6:15 in Suite 258. And you can come in and you can look at the bold actions that your peers have suggested are necessary to meet the bold goals, and you can amend those, you can extend those, you can do anything you want. I guarantee I am there to listen to you, and if you have a view, that will be reflected, and we will speak truth to power. because these bold goals are being shared at the White House. They're being shared with the Global Biofuels Alliance. The government of India is looking at them. The government of Brazil is looking at them. I hope the government of Canada will be looking at them. And they're coming from you, because innovation comes from the ground up, not just from the top down. Yes, we need incentives. Yes, we need policy certainty. But what we need is a lot of people at the ground level, you, to say what it is that you want. So come by at 6:15, Suite 258. I believe that we're having what Jeff Passmore calls a Scotch tasting. I would call that a fermentation product quality assurance symposium. And please join us. We'll have a great time, and I'll be listening to you. And with that, I just want to remind you to make the sign. The net zero economy is there for you. I look forward to the panel discussion. And thank you, everyone. Thank you, Jeff and Ewa, for putting on a fantastic event. And it always is a pleasure to come here. Thank you.